tonight. Good evening, councillors, special guests, the staff, and the press. We begin tonight's meeting with the acknowledgement that the land on which we are gathered is in the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, specifically Mississauga. We would also like to acknowledge the North Channel Métis Council. We say miigwech to thank Indigenous people for taking care of this land from time immemorial. We are called to treat this sacred land, its plants, animals, stories, and its people with honor and respect. We commit to the shared goal of reconciliation. Prior to tonight's meeting agenda, I would ask that each councillor who is present via this Zoom call to answer the roll call when I call your name. Deputy Mayor Summers.
Present.
Councillor Betty Ann Dunbar.
Present.
Councillor Jim Dunbar.
Present.
Councillor Stephen Wells.
Present.
Councillor Roy sends his regrets. Councillor Jennifer Posterero.
Present.
Thank you. Wow, this is the last meeting for the 2018 to 2022 term, and we are starting tonight's meeting with a great news story. A project undertaken by Mississauga First Nation, the town of Blind River, and Destination Northern Ontario during the pandemic won not one, but 2 TWO awards at the Ontario Tourism Summit on October 26th in Muskoka. So council, take a look at this. This is our wonderful award that we're so excited about. And this is our signing, and we'll have it framed, and it says Collaboration Winner, Boom Camp Trail Expansion and Shared Stewardship Initiative, Mississauga First Nation with DNO and the town of Blind River. And we also have a second award where we were a finalist. Again, Collaboration for Indigenous Tourism Operator, Boom Camp Trail Expansion, Shared Stewardship Initiative, Mississauga First Nation with DNO and the town of Blind River. So pretty exciting stuff, and needless to say, it's going to be in a wonderful spot in our fabulous town hall. So we're very excited about that. We're very proud of Mississauga First Nation and Blind River's first accessible trail loop, and we've all been on it. The trail was designed to promote and improve cycling, walking, wheeling, and snowshoeing experience. Lined with beautiful signage in English, Anishinaabe, and French, our trail has benches to relax, as well as a surface that is comfortable for wheelchairs and strollers. Our awards celebrate Indigenous tourism as well as winter. We are more than a 3-month opportunity. Algoma and Northern Ontario are year-round playgrounds ripe with potential. Council would also like to thank Destination Northern Ontario's Executive Director, David McCallum, and Pat Forrest for representing our trio at the Deerhurst event. From all of us at Council, thank you, miigwech, merci to everyone who brought this project to fruition. And we have to say that the trails got a nice bit of usage during the TVM Spirit Walk. And although it was more than a week ago, the opportunity to say thank you to both organizers and volunteers is now. Council is thrilled that there was over 680 people that came to the Timber Village Museum's first annual Haunted Trail. Thank you to Cameco, as well as the Blind River Rotary Club, for sponsoring candy for this event. When we work together, incredible things happen. This Friday, November 11th, marks the 104 years since the ending and recognition of the First World War. There will be a special ceremony beginning at the Royal Canadian Legion, Branch 189 at 10 o'clock, and then there will be a walk to the cenotaph. This is a time to recognize the brave men and women who have fought and continue to fight for the greater good of our country. Everyone is welcome to the ceremony. And now turning to our agenda, I have a motion on the table from Councillor Wells, seconded by Councillor Betty Ann Dunbar. Be it resolved that Council approve the agenda and the closed meeting agenda as presented. All in favor with this motion? And that is carried. Thank you. And are there any declarations of conflict of interest? Seeing no hands going up, I will take that as a no. I have a motion on the table for the adoption of the previous minutes. This is moved by Deputy Mayor Summers, seconded by Councillor Jim Dunbar. Be it resolved that council adopt the minutes of the public meeting of October 17th, 2022, and the minutes of the regular council meeting of October 17th, 2022, as presented. All in favor with this motion? And that is carried. Thank you. And is there any business which council wishes to speak about as a result of these meeting minutes? Again, no hands are being seen, so we'll take that as a no. We will move on to item number 8, and this is our public presentation. Council is excited to announce that Minister Chow, Minister of Seniors and Accessibility for Ontario, is here this evening to share news with our community. Minister Chow, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, Blind River. Thank you for inviting me there. I'm honored to be invited here by the town to be part of the celebration of a Blind River receiving an inclusive community grant. Before I talk a little bit about the grant, I want to take the time to congratulate Mayor Hagman and the rest of the town council. I learned that the mayor and all the councilors, they were acclaimed. Congratulations. And then now for reasons being elected to serve the people of Blind River, and as a former local councilor myself, I know what it means to represent your residents at the local level. I've been Toronto City Councilor more than 25 years. And so I know the honor and the responsibility that all the councilors that you share there. And as a local councilor, I know what it means to receive a grant that helps build your community. Before we talk about the good news, let me tell you why we are here. The Inclusive Community Grant Program is designed to help communities across the province become more inclusive and accessible for people of all ages and abilities. Since 2018, our government has funded over 60 community-based projects across Ontario, such as accessible benches in London, accessible beaches in Kenora, refresher driving courses for seniors in Chatham, Kent, to an inclusive waterfront in Collingwood. It does not matter how big or small a community is, this program is here to serve the needs of your community. And now, here in Blind River, you are receiving $32,500 for the assigned seats are not our style. Sit anywhere that makes you smile program in Blind River. You are installing 14 accessible picnic tables throughout the community. This will promote outdoor play, sense of place, as well as encourage those walking or wheeling to have a quality area to rest. These tables will be permanently installed, so they're accessible to the public year-round. Now, this project is more than just a few picnic tables. This funding supports a holistic plan to make your town barrier-free. You know, a week ago, I had a lot of fun filming a Halloween video. I played the part of Captain Accessible and called on all of Ontario to assemble so that we can become more accessible. And I must say that the town of Blind River is showing the province how to become more accessible and is providing every other community an example of how to do it right by making sure all the adults, those with a disability, and the community at large have an opportunity to enjoy and live full, rewarding lives in your beautiful part of the province. Mayor Hagman, the rest of the town council, and everyone in Blind River, congratulations for providing this kind of a leadership and commitment. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Minister.
you.
Cole. It was so nice of you to come and talk to us in person. You are the first minister that has spoken to our council, and we won't forget this evening, and we won't forget you. And speaking as a senior citizen for the town of Blind River and a resident of the town of Blind River, we love our accessible tables and we love our accessible benches. And you know what? It just makes growing older just that much more nicer. So thank you again, and thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, well, after that exciting introduction now and consideration of administrative reports, the first report, 9.1, is our ongoing projects update. Does council have any questions for Ms. Scott on these projects? And seeing none, we'll move on to 9.2. This is with regards to the public meeting and 154 and 156 Woodward Avenue. I have a motion on the floor from Councillor Pastorero, seconded by Councillor Wells. Be it resolved that council grant provisional consent for the property located at 156 Woodward Avenue to create a new lot with zoning distinction of R1 residential single detached type zone, having an approximate footage of 33 feet, approximate depth of 132 feet, and having an approximate area of 4,356 square feet, while retaining a lot at 154 Woodward with a zoning distinction of R1 residential single detached type zone, having an approximate frontage of 33 feet, approximate depth of 132 feet, and having an approximate area of 4,356 square feet. This motion was brought forward. Does council have any questions on this motion? Councillor Jim Dunbar.
Thank you, Mayor Hagman. Just a question to Ms. Scott. By providing the condition of consent and the permissive reliefs here, this here basically, you know, further down the road, if there was any legal challenges, this is basically protecting our proverbial heinies from anything.
Through you, Mayor Hagman, to you, Councillor Dunbar. What we are providing them with is a conditional consent, and there are terms that they must meet through the conditions that they will have to have registered on title through legal course that will protect the municipality in the future. So, for example, with the driveway being smaller than normal driveways. This would, section 3 of the conditions states that there must be 2 registered easements for the purpose of vehicular ingress and egress together as related to each lot due to the shared driveway access. So this would be registered on title and remain with the properties even if they should sell.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Scott.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, I call for a vote now. Those in favor, please raise your hands. And that is unanimous and that is carried. Thank you. From the Director of Facilities and Community Services, read the Santa Claus Parade. I have a motion on the table, moved by Councillor Betty Ann Dunbar, seconded by Deputy Mayor Summers. Be it resolved that council approve closure of Lakeside Avenue at Menard, Lakeside Avenue at Birch Street, Lakeside Avenue at Wishart Street, Lakeside Avenue at Center Street, and Haynes Street at Michigan Avenue from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday, November 12th, 2022 for the 2022 Santa Claus Parade, and that staffing be provided for setup and tear down of barricades. Are there any questions on this motion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. Those in favor? And that's unanimous and that is carried. Thank you. And from the Director of Facilities and Community Services with regard to the Trans-Canada Trail funding. And is there any questions on that motion? Or sorry, not motion, but information, I should say. Seeing none, we'll move on to the service delivery status update for November 2022. Does anyone have any questions on the service delivery report and the updates? Seeing none, presentation of committee reports, we have none, and we have no unfinished business or correspondence requiring action. So for information, we had the Huron Pines annual general meeting on October 24th. We also had on the same evening the regular executive meeting. On October 27th, Municipal Affairs and Housing gave us an update on the AMO delegation. It was nice to see a personal letter from Minister Clark. October 25th, Algoma Public Health, the monthly board package has been presented for you. Not the whole board package, it's usually about 160 pages, so a lot of reading. October 31st, our representative, Michael Mantha, gave congratulations to the town and to council. There was no notices of motion presented tonight. Under introduction and consideration of bylaws, I have a motion on the table. This is moved by Councillor Wells, seconded by Councillor Jim Dunbar. Be it resolved that council authorize the mayor and CAO clerk to sign bylaw 22-56, being a bylaw to grant temporary relief from section 20.2 rural and resource type zone regulations of the comprehensive land use zoning bylaw 16-49 to permit a temporary second residential dwelling for a maximum period of 1 year from the date of passing on the subject parcel land located at 314 Woodward Avenue, where 1 is the maximum number of dwellings permitted in order to facilitate use of the land while building a permanent single detached dwelling, was passed in open council this 7th day of November 2022. Questions, comments? Councillor Jim Dunbar.
Thank you, Mayor Hagman. My question is, does our sewer go up to that far, our sewer lines, Ms. Scott?
Through you, Mayor Hagman, to you, Councillor Dunbar. No, our sewer lines do not reach that far outside of the municipal boundaries. They're actually cut off just before that residence. They will have a septic system.
And are the water lines there?
There is, I don't believe the water is there either.
Okay.
Okay, I don't see any other hands going up, so I will call for a vote at this time. Those in favor of this motion? And that's unanimous and that is carried. Thank you. At this time, seeing one other report and announcement, I would ask Councillor Stephen Wells to take the microphone.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Hagman. This meeting is moving along so quickly. I'm glad I've written a speech. So please bear with me. I'd like to say that I've enjoyed the 8 years I've served as a member of council. And I'd like to thank the Blind River residents who first elected me back in 2014, which seems like yesterday, and who re-elected me again in 2018. So I really appreciate the support that I received from them and the confidence they showed in me. And as Councillor Roy did a couple of weeks ago, I'd like to take a few minutes just to reflect upon the last 8 years. There are a few accomplishments of the previous council and this outgoing council that I would like to highlight. And I'm not trying to take credit for any of these accomplishments. It's the council as a whole that have accomplished these things. Foremost in my mind is the decision of the previous council to engage KPMG to prepare a comprehensive service delivery review. I felt that that was long overdue and that actions taken by this council to implement many of those recommendations that have been presented in the service delivery review have gone a long way toward modernizing the community, making the community much more efficient. We also engaged in a comprehensive assessment of all municipal facilities that was conducted by Tulloch Engineering. And that enabled council staff to focus on those buildings which are most in need of repair. So I think that was an important achievement too. I can't ignore the waterfront project, which is moving toward completion. The new docks, the walkways, the landscaping, that will all attract more residents and tourists to the river, which is in the heart of Blind River. And I felt for many years that that area was sorely neglected and needed to be upgraded. The public information sessions that have been held either at the community center or virtually during the last 4 years, I believe 4 sessions a year. Those sessions have offered our residents an opportunity to become better informed about council's decisions, community services, the role of staff, and the municipality as a whole. And I hope that the next council, I think under Mayor Hagen's leadership, will continue to implement those community sessions. When I was first elected, I had to prepare for an upcoming council meeting at the municipal office, taking time to go through paper copies of agenda items, reviewing photocopies in the reading file, taking notes. Now I can read agenda items in digital format wherever I have internet access. I can attend council meetings and committees online as I'm doing right now. And we can even vote electronically using an iPad. So to be blunt, in 8 short years, the town has moved into the 21st century. And that modernization, I think, will continue under the leadership of the new council. The next council will face many new challenges, but to be honest, all incoming councils are told that they're going to be facing many new challenges. So there's nothing new there, but especially during these uncertain economic times. But I am confident that the members of the new council are knowledgeable, experienced individuals who will strive to make the best decisions on behalf of all residents. I'd like to thank senior administration for your ongoing support and for your willingness to promptly respond to questions. Katie Scott, you were always available within reason whenever I sent a text message. And the Deputy Clerk Pam, you were always there to fix my iPad, make sure my phone was working. Never had a problem with that. And I'd like to thank department heads and staff for your commitment to the community. Finally, I'd like to thank my wife, Janet, and family for your patience during the last 8 years. I would like to note that we have had some difficulty with this status of democracy in Blind River. And some people, I think, feel that the job is an onerous one. But as I've tried to demonstrate in my remarks, the job has become easier as we become more technologically proficient. And I really hope that the people of Blind River will step forward to consider seeking a seat on council either in the next few weeks or in 4 years from now. It is a rewarding experience, well worth the effort. And I don't regret it for a minute. I'll miss serving here as a counselor, and I will miss working with the dedicated individuals who are participating during this meeting this evening. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Wells. And I can honestly say that I speak on behalf of all of council that you will be missed. And we all really enjoyed working with you over this last 4 years for me and 8 years for some. And yeah, it's just, it will seem very different not seeing your friendly face, but we know that we know where to find you. And we will definitely be visiting you at the food bank, if only to go shopping, because your new digs are pretty nice, and the yard sales are very well laid
Thank
out.
you.
So all the best to you and Janet, and hopefully you will have a life beyond work. So thank you for that. And I thank the public for listening to this point. I do have a motion going forward, and this is moved by Councillor Fosteraro, seconded by Councillor Wells. Be it resolved that council go into a closed meeting at 7:27 p.m. and we are talking about acquisition or offers to purchase in close. So thank you to the public and to council. We will see you on the other side. Bye-bye. All right. And I have a motion on the table, moved by Deputy Mayor Summers, seconded by Councillor Jim Dunbar. Be it resolved that council resume the open meeting at 7:48 PM. And I'll call for a vote. All in favor with this motion? And that is carried. Thank you. And I have a motion from Councillor Betty Ann Dunbar, seconded by Councillor Posterero. Be it resolved that council authorize the mayor and CAO clerk to sign bylaw 22-57, being a bylaw of the corporation of the town of Blind River, to adopt the minutes of the meeting of November 7th, 2022, was passed in open council the 7th day of November, 2022. And could I have a show of hands and a vote? All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. And last but not least, I have a motion from Councillor Jim Dunbar, seconded by Councillor Stephen Wells. Be it resolved that council adjourn the meeting at 7:49 PM. All in favor with this motion? And look what I got. First time in 4 years. We are adjourned. Have a great evening, everyone.
See you, Stephen. Nice working with you.
Great working with you, Steve.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.